Yeah, it's been a long time, right? All I can say is before I start the review, man, 2020 was a crappy year. And yeah, forgive me everyone, I stopped making videos in 2020 because of personal reasons, and I had to focus on other things outside of the camera. But in the end, I managed to come back and return to what I love talking about the most and what I love doing the most. And that's talking about movies, video games, and comic book stuff. And since something that's related to this, which I never knew that it was going to be existing, we were highly demanding. And I was with them, the Snyder Cut for Justice League. I never knew... Dang it, I dropped the movies. I never knew this movie, the extended edition of this, would exist, because I'll be honest, this is, to me, I'll admit, I defended the hell out of this movie. Defended the hell out of it. Despite its light tone and some of the scenes being cut out, and Steppenwolf not being a very good villain, and of course the Henry Cavill mustache. Oh my god. No. Like, and they even gave him a chance to shave his mustache, but in the end, I'm happy that after so much demand of the Snyder Cut, especially Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers says it's nothing but a pipe dream, and in the end, we got it, and it was completely confirmed by Zack Snyder as of during the pandemic that the Snyder Cut has been confirmed, and we're going to be getting the footage that Zack Snyder, ones that he filmed, not Joss Whedon's reshoots. Now we finally got ourselves the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which I thank Zack Snyder, the fans, and Warner Media, at least, for giving the fans and everyone else a chance to just let us see Zack Snyder's vision of the Justice League. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna start differently too, because I'm changing my review perspective, so I hope everyone understands. So let's begin. Is the Snyder Cut better than the Justice League? Yes. Yes, it is. It is so much better, and it's much more better paced. And not only that too, like the pacing in Justice League is much more faster, and I was like, man, Cyborg's story is a bit murky. Flash's story, it's good, but I wish I would see more of his backstory. And it felt rushed. And then I know that DC is famous for how dark it is, and it wasn't quite dark. It was more lighthearted at times. It had its dark moments, but it didn't feel like a DC movie. The Snyder Cut of Justice League goes back to the route that Zack Snyder's vision, and I absolutely love it. I don't want to give any spoilers here, but all I can say is seeing Ben Affleck back as Batman is just great. Seeing him being a much more better version of himself, because in the other version he was kind of useless. Wonder Woman, here she doesn't even hold back at all, and I loved Gal Gadot's performance here. She literally goes in on her role. Aquaman's role hasn't changed much, but I did like how the way here we get more emphasis of like his homeworld of Atlantis, and we get to see William Dafoe's character Volko more often here, trying to motivate Arthur Curry to get back in the game. But Arthur Curry just doesn't want in it or anything like that. And then William. And what I liked about that too is that how the way Jason Momoa here, he's not the lighthearted tone Aquaman here, but here he's more serious. And that's what I like about him too, because in the Justice League version, and he was serious, but at times he was hilarious. But here he was more serious, and he was kind of a dick. So he was okay. He was actually really good. But the biggest change-ups was to the Flash and Cyborg. Let's begin with Cyborg first. Cyborg, in interviews, I read that Zack Snyder said that Cyborg is going to be the heart of the team, and he proved it. Cyborg's backstory and how he got his powers, and how bitter he is to be back alive and as a cyborg, and how the way his father pretty much recreated him from out of the mother boxes. He's bitter, but there is a moment where his father leaves a tape recording, and then there he gives him the motivation to use his powers and use it at his full use. I can't believe that he has access to pretty much anything. He can pretty much get into bank accounts and just donate it to a poor lady. He can nuke at any place at any time whenever he desires. He can access anything with electronic devices, and that just blows my mind. And how the way he was using his powers and how the way he uses it's amazing. And him being the heart of the team, like his Ray Fisher's performance by Victor Stone, it was amazing. Let's talk about Ezra Miller's Flash. Here, he's a bit more fleshed out, and we get to see a little bit more of his backstory. We do get to see the Iris West scene that I was wondering, like, man, where's the Iris West scene? We get it here, a bit cringy, and it was funny, it was good, but we get to see a little bit more of his backstory, and then his comedy does land a bit, and his jokes are funny. He's like the funny one of the team, and Ezra Miller as the Flash, I will admit he was really good, and his performance here was absolutely amazing. And they still kept that scene where he's trying to go after Superman. It's still there, and there was an extra scene too where Flash runs into Aquaman, and Aquaman like tries to get up, and he just points at him. He's like, "I'm so sorry." I like how the way he did that too. And then also, in the other version, he saved a Russian family. But here, he helps out, and then he has to go as fast as he can in order to spark up the mother boxes, stop them from combining so they can stop the Earth from turning into another apocalypse. And seeing how his powers combine, especially seeing the Speed Force, you get to see the hint of the Speed Force, and I love that scene. Ezra Miller's performance here was good, and I liked how the way they used him too. Henry Cavill. Now, here, I loved how the way they used him here too. I know that they added more screen time in the Justice League version, but here, like, it's setting up to see how much they really need Superman and how much Lois and his mother goes through after his death. And it hits me right there. How the way they use here Henry Cavill's Superman, I like it. And how the way he fights against Steppenwolf, he doesn't hold back. And I would say Henry Cavill's performance here was amazing, but Steppenwolf was a huge, huge step up. I love this version here. Yes, you may say he's just a CGI character with a bunch of armor. Yes, but in the other version, he was just like, "Mother, I got all the mother boxes. Mother." I was like, no. But here, he has a sense of motivation. Here, he finds the location of the mother boxes, all thanks to Lex Luthor, who pretty much just hints that Superman is dead. Have at it. Steppenwolf here is a bit more of a step up. And then here, what his motivation is to get the mother boxes and to pretty much impress and try to get on the good side of Darkseid, because he promised Darkseid lots of, like, over, I don't even know how many planets, but it's an insane amount of planets. But what I'll put it right here in the description. I don't want to add things right here. That's what motivated him to do that too. And then he gets the Darkseid's attention in order to pretty much, like, be on his good side. But before I get to that, Steppenwolf's performance was great, but Darkseid, wow, amazing. He does have a moment to shine. How the way his backstory starts off, it was really good. And his presence, he is intimidating. And I was like, wow. Ray Porter voicing Darkseid, what a step up too. And then Desaad, he doesn't do much, but to pretty much just to talk to Steppenwolf to see how far he's gone with the mother boxes and stuff like that. I liked how the way his design, you get to see Granny Goodness. She doesn't do much, she just stands there at the very end, and that's about it. But Darkseid, I am happy that he is in this movie, and his presence and how his intimidation goes. And there's moments too where Darkseid does get to shine, and wow, I never know how powerful Darkseid is, especially during the nightmare sequence. I would say that this movie is much better than ever. The action sequences, they're great here. It adds more scenes, more dialogue, more character development. In my opinion, I like how the way they were talking to each other. For example, Flash with Cyborg, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, they have their moment where they talk, and then they have that meeting and stuff like that. And I know it doesn't have that version where Bruce Wayne tells Diana, what about Steve Trevor, and then she just pushes him. There's not that moment there, but it's just that. But man, I never knew that this movie would ever exist, and I'm just thankful that not only the fans, like us fans, made this movie exist, and Zack Snyder pretty much was like, you know what, let's just do the Snyder cut so we can give exactly what the fans want. So without a doubt, I will give Justice League, I give it an 8 out of 10 first, but I'm gonna have to subtract points on this one. The mustache on Superman made him look ridiculous. The jokes were good, but some of them were a bit cringy. Steppenwolf, yeah, didn't like his performance. Batman, how the way they used him up here, not really good, but they made him up in this version of the Snyder cuts. So Justice League is a 5 out of 10. But Zack Snyder's Justice League goes 4 points higher to a 9 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. I do want to see a continuation of the Justice League with the same characters, and I do want to see how Shazam, Atom, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter, which I never knew. I knew at one point. I knew from the get-go. That Swatnik had a secret, because he was acting so suspiciously secretive when he was like, "Huh, a flying Kryptonian, cool." I was like, "Yeah." You had something. You had a very deep, dark secret, and you were Martian Manhunter the whole time. I knew from the get-go you had something, that you had a secret, and now you completely showed it. And I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy to see Martian Manhunter, but it sucks that he never had a chance to shine. My only complaint to the movie for this one is the soundtrack was a bit off at times in some parts, and I wish it would have had a little bit more Superman. But at the same time, when he shows up, oh, it's about to go down. And I'm just happy. And everyone, I will make a future video and address of why I didn't make any videos. All I can say is that I'm happy that the Snyderverse is back, sort of. Anyways, everyone, that is it. Nerd of the 90s is back, and I'm going to be making more videos soon enough. So after this video, I'm going to be making my top games of 2020, despite how shitty 2020 was. Top movies of 2020. I didn't watch much, but I do have some movies that I did watch, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt because I watched them and I enjoyed them. And let's see what goes from there too, because 2021, it started off pretty weak with movies, but now it's getting a little stronger now that we got the Snyder cuts and with Godzilla vs. Kong next week. Oh, I am excited. And that review, that's also coming too. So be looking forward to that, everyone. Anyways, everyone, this is Nerd of the 90s back, and I am not going anywhere. If YouTube keeps continuing, I'm going to switch platforms starting off. Maybe Instagram, maybe, I don't know, TikTok, I don't know. If YouTube keeps doing this stupid shit again, then I'm done with YouTube. I'm going to go put my content elsewhere. Anyways, everyone, this is Nerd of the 90s signing out, and I'm back, baby.